And we're moments away from dropping the puck. It's the Kings and the Flyers this afternoon at Staples. First game of 2016 here with Sean O'Donnell. Jonathan Quick is in net once again, going against Michael Neuwirth. Got that right?
I got it.
Okay, so Quick, any concern about overusage for Jonathan Quick at this point of the season?
I don't think so. I think Daryl Sutter has a pretty good pulse on his team, and especially the goaltending situation. And right now, yeah, they have a nice, comfortable lead in the Pacific, but there's too much hockey left. They need to get wins. You can always rest him later on in the year, do more of a split, maybe the last 10 games. But right now, he's got to go with the hot hand, the guy he feels can get wins right now.
As far as Jeff Carter not playing this afternoon, amazing how the guys have stepped up and rallied without number 77.
It's funny how that happens in games sometimes. There's sometimes a part of your schedule where you think it's going to be tough. Team does well. Guy goes down with an injury, other guys step up. So it's nice they're getting contributions from different guys. Now, when Carter does come back eventually, you want them to keep it going. But while he's out, other guys are stepping up.
Well, it's going against his former team. This should be fun. The Kings and the Flyers. And for the Hyundai keys of the game, let's bring in Mr. Jim Fox.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. Looks pretty good outside. Come on inside. And the Hyundai keys, yes, start. Reset for the Kings. Afternoon game off a road trip. For the Flyers, they're minus 17 in goal differential in the first period, so keep an eye on the start. Puck placement, that was the key on the Kings road trip. Get the puck to a spot where everyone can support it. Then, of course, the specialty teams and the timing. Sean O'Donnell talked about it way back in the pregame show where, you get that goal at the right time, or you get a big kill late in the game. The timing has been good on the specialty teams, and the Kings winning games. The officials for today's game. Ghislain Hébert, he's joined by Brad Watson. There's Brad right there. Then the referees, orange armbands on the lines. Derek Nansen and Mark Wheeler. Welcome back home to Staples Center for one game. With a play-by-play, Hall of Famer, Bob Miller.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. We're ready to go. And Kopitar on the opening face-off, but the Flyers have it back at their own blue line. And Radko Gudas out of the Czech Republic sends it off to the left side, and now it's driven into the King zone. McNabb gets it up along the boards and out to center ice. Taken there by Jake Voracek. Driven right back down into the King zone and stopped behind the net by Quick. Over to McNabb, and now to the left side to Kopitar. His pass up the middle, taken away, and then poke checked away there, and Randall had it right in the middle. Puck taken by Kopitar. Kopitar into the Flyers zone. His pass comes back behind the net and around the boards, and Flyers will pick it up there and try and clear it out, and they do get it out to center ice. Flyers with it again down the right wing side. Chased in by Braden Shen, formerly with the Kings. Shen, left side, pass to the blue line, and then driven wide to the left and offside. It came out across the line, and offside called against the Flyers.
The Flyers are the man jumping off the bench, and Raffle, Andre Kopitar, you don't see this too often, goes through the middle. Raffle's right there, not picked up a there. We saw that so many times on the road trip with Braden McNabb, that positioning, but then the use of his stick. Maximize your skill set. That's something Daryl Sutter says all the time. And he's a big, long-rangey guy. Use the reach with the play.
Now off the draw here, Raffle again, but he can't get a shot. Who's coming back was Lewis to tip it away. Now Michael Raffle, he tried to center it out in front. Things break it up, can clear it out. And not yet. Held in again. Now back behind the net. Penalty coming up here against the Kings. Penalty against the Kings right off the bat. Shen with it, but he lost it there, and it's touched by Martinez. And now the penalty is called, and the Flyers go on the power play.
And I know it's really early. You're only a couple of shifts in, but Daryl Sutter's team, Daryl talked about it yesterday at practice, where you've got to reset for the afternoon game. It's a little bit of a change. And so far, real early, but the Flyers, no question, have a step on the Kings. So that has to change. Just that thinking, the decision-making, what's going on. Martinez gets his stick. He tried to get his body, but you can see right there, he's kind of water skiing, as they call it. So hooking is the call. The Flyers, after the first couple of shifts, get the first chance. Man advantage, 5-on-4 power play.
They are tied for 27th in the league on the power play. Against the Kings earlier this season, they went 1 out of 5. King penalty killing is 7th best in the NHL. Giroux and Gostisbehere lead the Flyers in power play goals with 4 apiece. Flyers up to center ice now. Taken by Giroux across the line, threw it over on the left wing side. Now, Flyers still in the King zone. They hang on to it there. They got Gostisbehere. He's got a great shot on the power play. He's at the blue line. Now a pass in front to Simmons, who tried to jam it in. Couldn't do it. Simmons has it again. Simmons pass. Back on the left side to Giroux. Shen is right in the middle. Voracek over on the right side. Pass to Voracek. Pass back in front. Saved by Quick. And he covers it up and he hangs on.
Jonathan Quick had to be very smart there. He actually blocked the pass attempt that was going to go across. The Flyers were stationary, but that one pass, Giroux is the type of player that could make this pass all the way across. Now watch Voracek. It's the stick of McNabb, then Jonathan Quick getting a piece of that one. Braden Shen ends up in the tumble. But it's the second time in this game already where Braden McNabb did a great job with his stick. And you see everyone collapse. You have 3-4 with Pearson helping out. That's what you've got to do. The Flyers looking for that cross-seam pass down below. Almost worked, but the Kings get a stick in the way.
And off the draw here in the Kings zone. The Kings pick up the loose puck and drive it around the boards, but not out. Held into the right point. Driven down in deep. Was held in by Medvedev. They're dressing 7 defensemen here for the Flyers this afternoon. The Kings clear it all the way back into the Flyers zone. Medvedev back to get it. He's 33 years old. Played in Russia last season. 51 seconds left to go on the King penalty. Flyers bring it up to center ice. We're early in the first period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Puck down into the corner. Chased in by Ryan White. White got checked there. Puck taken by Couturier. Couturier couldn't hang on. And the Kings clear it again all the way back as Muzzin clears the zone.
There's that support we saw on the road trip where everyone getting to the right spot at the right time. Yeah, Kopitar staying down low to work for the deep.
24 seconds left to go in the King penalty. Back up to center ice. Flyers with it now, and they bring it into the neutral zone. They get it over to Braden Shen. Braden Shen to Gostisbehere. Back to Braden Shen. His pass knocked down at the blue line and cleared there by Mersch.
Third time in the game where Braden McNabb does the job with his reach right there, standing up at the blue line. Stick on puck.
4 seconds left to go in the King penalty. Flyers into the King zone. Pass in deep. Knocked down there by McNabb. McNabb with it again. Kings are back at full strength. They try to poke it out to center and can't do it. Flyers have it again. Here's Simmons, top of the slot. Poke checked away there by McNabb.
Fourth time in the first game. Braden McNabb's got the old Larry Robinson poke check working, and it's working to a T right now. Use that reach.
He's the number 1 star right now.
Right now he would.
Puck taken by the Kings and cleared up on the right side of Nolan, but out of his reach and driven right back into the King zone. And Jamie McBain chases it down.
The bad part of that, Bob, is he's doing that because the Kings are in a position where they're defending all the time. The Flyers just seem to have the puck a lot more here early.
Flyers again at the blue line with a shot. Knocked down in front of the shot by Vandervelde. Knocked away by Quick. Now the Kings back in their own zone, trying to get some momentum here and get started in this first period. There's no score. Puck comes up to center ice, and Shore drives it in, and Neuvert makes the glove save on it, and he hangs on.
The Kings get what they need. They just get something to kind of slow it down a little bit here. McNabb at the blue line. You want the gap, but you want to lead with a stick. He skated by it there, but you could see how the stick gets him out of trouble. Pass to the middle. Comes across. In the way, and just doing the job. Smart read right there. That's what's picking up, too. Again, the reads he's picking up with Drew Doughty. I know they played together basically all season long, but it just seems like now they're a true pair. Like the team coming together on the road trip, that pair has really come together.
Kopitar's line out on the ice right now with Foley and Lucic. Puck is across the line, but offside. Go the Flyers.
Of course, a lot of talk about the Kings in the standings right now, and Daryl Sutter was asked about that yesterday, and he just said, you know what, we've talked to the team about making sure you don't finish or have to fight for that 3 hole. Because like everyone believes, 5 teams from the Central, only 3 from the Pacific, so you don't want to be in that position fighting for it. So you want to maintain that gap. You want to keep it going. There is a lot of focus on the standings. There should be, because the Kings have had a great start, but at the same time, it's back to that one game at a time where you get the 2 points and they're on the field.
Braden McNabb drives it into the Flyer zone. Puck taken by Umberger. He got checked along the boards, and the puck tipped up in the air and out of play.
Well, Dave Maxwell is behind the bench for the Philadelphia Flyers, his first year as the head coach, coming over from the University of North Dakota. And, you know, his system is described as controlling the neutral zone, and then creating counter-attacks. A little bit similar to the Kings, I guess you would say, from that standpoint. There has been a lot, especially for the Kings on the road trip, for working hard to get it back. So, first year in the league, feeling things out, getting it going, tough start. But as Bob mentioned in the open, the Flyers have been turning around lately, the last 25 games or so after that start.
Face off in the Flyer zone. It was Lewis on the draw. He's got Dwight King and Dustin Brown with him on this line. Puck comes along the right wing boards. Lewis, he got hit hard there. Delzato stepped into him and knocked him down. Puck comes around the boards into the corner, and the Kings try to get there with a check by Brown. Still a battle down the corner now. Dustin Brown waiting for it to come loose. If it does, he tries to get his stick on it. King is in there. Now it comes right toward Neuvert, and he covers it up. King was getting whacked from behind by Simmons down in there, and all of a sudden the puck was loose and came right toward the net.
Dustin Brown's been instrumental for the Kings of late in those grinded out areas, the forecheck areas. And this is exactly the type of shift the Kings needed at this point of the game. You get the big bodies out there. You see King getting pushed from behind Delzato, trying to make sure King never gets his balance. Dustin Brown was there. Lewis just threw it to the net, and it was kind of a dangerous play. But after that kind of shaky start, settle things down with the vets getting out there working on the forecheck.
Now Shore out at center. Pearson gives it back to blue line. McNabb with a drive and a glove save by Michael Neuvert. Neuvert in goal. He's first in save percentage in the NHL at .937.
And the Flyers need that. They're a team that is coming together. They're a team that's going through some salary cap issues. They've had to send players down to the minors because Gostisbehere comes up and earns a spot with the team. Maybe not expected to play as much as he had this year, but they were trying to figure things out. So trying to come together. That's when you need the good goaltending. Neuvert giving them that.
King scratches in the game. Derek Forbert, Jordan Wheel, and Jeff Carter still out. Flyers dig it out, and they get it up to center ice. On the right wing, across the line, here's Simmons. Simmons pass down in toward Couturier. Now back to Simmons. King zone. Simmons to Sean Couturier. His pass taken away. Kings get it over to Doughty. Doughty takes his time, makes the pass over to McNabb. They head to center ice. Look out there. A check thrown there on Shore. Shore, now it comes in and covered by Neuvert. Shore getting hit right there at center ice by Luke Schenn.
The Kings getting it together a little bit better here as the game goes on. I know we're still early. I've been saying that too. Still not even 10 minutes gone, but the last breakout, I really like what the Kings do with Drew Doughty. He's going to stop right here. He's going to go all the way across to change the point of attack. Then when the McNabb has a decision to make, going to stop here. He can go here into the middle, which is risky. He doesn't do that. He goes off the boards and watch Shore skate onto the puck. So that's just kind of systematic approach. That's low-risk hockey. The Kings are known for that. Doughty to McNabb, then get it up the ice.
Andy Andrioff out at center ice now. Murch on the left wing and Nolan on the right, and off the draw, a battle for the puck, and it's caught underneath one of the Flyers. It was White, but it comes free and taken by Radko Gudas for Philadelphia. Rolls right in toward Quick, and he covers it up there.
So a little on the face-offs here in the last little while. Both teams. See what it takes to train like an LA King. Check out the Fit to Be King video featuring the LA Kings ice crew going through an upper body workout powered by 24-hour fitness. Visit LAKings.com/Fit to Be King for videos, tips, recipes, and much, much, much more.
Flyer scratches this afternoon. Brandon Manning, Matt Reed, and Vincent Lecavalier. Face off in the King zone now. And off the draw, Bellemare tried to win the face-off, but it comes into the corner, and the Flyers do control it there as Ryan White sent it around into the corner. No score, first period. White chasing it down again. Gets it back to the blue line. Shot from there is blocked, and Kopitar gets knocked down. Play continues. Back into the Flyer zone.
The positioning by Andre, that's not unusual. It looked like he was going to take that one step, couldn't get by.
Back into the King zone, chased in now by the Kings, Jamie McBain. Ehrhoff and McBain back defensively for the Kings, and here's Lucic on the left wing. Lucic drives it down in deep into the Flyer zone. 16 points of last 19 for him. Now he centered it. It deflected though, and Muzzin couldn't take the chance to try and get it. The Flyers come back. Now Simmons in deep. Simmons lost it there, taken away by Toffoli. Toffoli with 7 goals in his last 8 games, and he sends it deep into the Flyer zone.
Look at attack speed by the Flyers, and at the same time, the Kings going to their defensive system. Back check right through the middle.
Now the Kings trying to hold it in. Dwight King with a check there in the Flyer zone. King with a shot went wide to the left, and the rebound over to R.J. Umberger. Umberger gets it up to Simmons, but he didn't clear it out to center. Kings hold it in. Right side. Now a shot from there, knocked down. Lewis goes for it again, sends it wide. Trevor Lewis trying to dig it up off the boards, and now it is taken by the Flyers.
This line has been real good for the Kings. Maybe the only Kings team to sustain pressure. Doing a good job. Here we go.
Kings taking it away again. 3-on-1. Pass up the middle. Now score from the right side. It was Dwight King on the right side, and it's 1-0 Kings. You're right. That line's been good.
Dustin Brown had made a change on the play because he broke his stick, but the sustained pressure of this line has been the successful factor so far. Maybe the only one, but it turns into a 1-0 lead. Pressure from behind. Gudas does not get the puck out. Not strong enough there. Now watch this. Give, go, get it back, and shoot right away. And this putback shot here by Dwight King is not only hard, it's accurate. Gaborik came on for Brown. Gaborik gets it and gives it right back. One-touch pass. So the goaltender can never get set. You've got to respect a couple of the angles for the shot. Can't get back across. Kings lead 1-0.
Now Dwight King missed every game this season until he's played the last on the road trip, and now he's made a big contribution here. Scored in Edmonton his first game back. Puck comes back behind the King net, taken by Doughty. So Dwight King with his second of the year, and it's 1-0 Kings. Here's Gaborik now. Gaborik back to Pearson. Trying to give it back to Gaborik, out of his reach. And the Flyers take over in their own zone. King from Gaborik at 7:33 puts the Kings ahead 1-0 here in the first period.
Getting the defenseman Gudas, he had a couple of options and kind of ran out of room. He got himself into no man's land. Then that pass he makes is the type of pass that coaches hate. You've got to be stronger.
Kings again, left side here, moving in, a shot and a save. Nolan with the shot from the left side. He had a lot of space there too, but the save made by Neuber. So the Kings on the goal by Dwight King. He celebrates the goal that puts the Kings ahead 1-0.
O'Neill and the Kings are leading the Flyers 1-0. Well, the fans have spoken. They have elected the 4 captains for the All-Star game in Nashville, January 31st. Jaromir Jagr representing the Atlantic. Patrick Kane, the Central. Alexander Ovechkin with the Metropolitan, calling it a huge honor. And here's the surprise. John Scott of Arizona. He said, hey, got to give the people what they want. Jim Fox, what say you regarding this vote?
Well, excuse me, Patrick. I think the one thing that's coming out right now is the media is starting to doubt whether the fans should have that responsibility. You know, the media want that responsibility. They want to be able to pick the All-Stars, those types of things. And, of course, John Scott is one of those guys. And it was one of those things. It kind of happened last year. It was a couple of years ago in Buffalo where, you know, the fans... Yeah. Well, that was a kind of a, it was even before that, it was a defenseman in Buffalo. Girgensons was more his country. It just became a spoof. And, you know, especially now with the All-Star game situation and the format, a lot of talk right there, I guess it's a question where the fans will still keep that responsibility.
Here's Simmons now driving behind the net. Scott was put on waivers not too long ago. Shot from a sharp angle. Rebound shot by Simmons goes wide.
We want the fans to have that responsibility. You want it to be involved, but you know, it's 2 of the last 3 years, I believe, where they've kind of made that touch. The Girgensons things I don't mind as much because it was one country. Remember Yao Ming in the NBA, you know, all the votes and trying. That's okay. That's a kind of a supporting thing. John Scott is, no disrespect, he knows it himself. He's a low-minute fringe player in the National Hockey League, and he gets voted in.
1 year in baseball, what was it? The Big Red Machine, Cincinnati. Didn't they have all the players? Shot by Raffle and a save by Quick.
Well, that was my Big Red Machine, so that was okay. That was okay.
You stuffed the ballot box. Here's a pass on the right side to Toffoli in front and just not out of the reach of Lucic, but he just couldn't tip it in.
Couldn't get there. Tony Perez, Joe Morgan, Dave Concepcion, Pete Rose, George Foster, Cesar Geronimo, Ken Griffey Jr., Johnny Bench. You got them all right there with my Big Red Machine. And there is Lucic. Just can't get it. He extended himself. And actually the pass is pretty good position. It was more of a timing thing. I think maybe Lucic expected the goaltender to maybe get a piece of it, but it got a long way through to him. But he just couldn't get the angle on his blade. You work on that, you practice it, just didn't work.
Well, the Kings have had a slow start this afternoon, but they lead 1-0, and at one point they had outshot the Flyers 5-0 over a span of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Face off in the Flyers zone. Kopitar on the draw, and Flyers come out with it. Bellemare up to center ice. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare sent it down into the corner. Puck comes around the right side and cleared up to center ice now, and here's Kopitar. Kopitar into the zone. Still with it, trying to protect the puck. He gets checked there along the boards. Flyers trying to dig it out. Still a battle there, and puck comes free, and a shot by Ehrhoff knocked away by Neuvirth, picked up by Toffoli. Toffoli's pass to Kopitar. to the blue line to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff, right side it goes. McBain shoots, and just the rebound out of the reach and out of the reach of the stick of Kopitar.
And that timing was pretty good right there. McBain was able to just kind of hold and go laterally long enough for Kopitar to become a factor.
Flyers wait behind their own net for a line change here.
Don't see that too often anymore, huh? Where both teams full-scale changes at the same time.
Yeah, and the Kings take it away at the blue line and hold it in the Flyer zone. Brown chasing it down, but it's picked up now and taken back behind the net and around the left side by Scott Lawton. They're trying to get him a lot of ice time here. He's their number 1 pick in 2012. Takes it away. Shot by Lewis, deflected up in the air. Batted down. Brown with a shot and a save. Lewis with a shot. And it's still loose and the whistle blew.
Oh, unfortunately, the referee, Hebert, was looking in behind. Trevor Lewis is not a happy camper. I think he's kind of talking more. He's going after Lawton right now, but the Kings were in the crease. They had it. They had the 2-on-1, creating chances. Kings with a 1-0 lead. Well, we've had a lot of international references in this game so far today, but pass across, and watch this, TC Chen, once and twice on the PGA Tour. That's a 2-stroke penalty. That happened to TC Chen back in the U.S. Open 1985. And Milan Lucic finds himself in a similar position. Doesn't get a 2-stroke penalty for it, but it could have been a 2-goal lead for the Kings. Unfortunately, it just shakes off the stick.
Well, the Kings have held the Flyers to 1 shot on goal in the last 7 minutes and 13 seconds, out-shooting Philadelphia 8-1 in that span. So it took a while to get going, Jim, but you kept mentioning they're slowly getting back into it, and now with a 1-0 lead, they are out-shooting the Flyers by a wide margin.
And that slow start I was talking about was maybe the first 3 minutes. It wasn't, but it was exaggerated. It was one of those where just half step ahead, the Flyers were there. And it took a couple of shifts on the forecheck by the Dustin Brown line with Lewis and King to get it going.
Kings clear it out to center ice. Brown gets it. Brown's pass picked up now, and Lewis, he shoots on a save, and Neuvirth covers this one up. So another face-off coming up here in the Flyer zone. We've got 8:38 to go in the first. 1-0 Kings.
The breakout there for the Kings. Dustin Brown gets to the boards on the near side, and it's support. That puck management, puck placement. You're always putting a puck to a spot where one of your teammates can get to it. That's what Dustin did on the last shift. Lewis skates onto it. King was trying to get involved, so I guess it's right now it's easy to say that line has been the difference maker for the Kings here in this last little resurgence offensively. King coming back in Edmonton on the last road trip, now his 3rd game. It just seems to have that factor where all 3 veterans are very comfortable with each other.
And the Kings win the draw and put it back behind the net. Flyers trying to gain control of it. Check thrown along the boards there as the Kings try to dig it out but can't do it. And the puck taken by the Flyers. Back in their own zone. Picked up there by Nick Schultz. Now right side to Simmons. Now pass over on the left and a shot and a save by Quick, and Simmons with a rebound. Shot was by Couturier. Sean Couturier, his dad Sylvain, played with the Kings. Puck is tipped away and picked up by Simmons again. And now the Flyers have it behind the net. Wrap around left side, they hang on to it, pass up the middle, and just poke checked away a little bit there and tipped away by Gabrick. Flyers again. Couturier. Couturier turns, puts it down into the corner. Flyers in the King zone now. There's a shot up in the air and tipped over the net. The shot there by Medvedev, and now against the board, still battling to try and dig it out.
The Flyers have made a change now, so they have a fresh Raffl on the ice.
Now here is Medvedev with a shot, and it's wide. Rebound off the boards to Shore, but he can't clear. Flyers now with some pressure on. Long shot blocked on the way in. Pearson with it. Pearson to Gabrick. Gabrick's pass off on the right side. Kings to center ice, and Shore sends it into the Flyers zone.
It took a while there. The Kings took away the middle of the ice in their own zone. The Flyers for the first time in a while with a little bit of pressure.
Now to the King blue line. Flyers with it. Drop pass. Shot by the Flyers. Raffl, and a save by Quick. McNabb double teamed in the corner. Michael Raffl is there for the Flyers. Braden Shen has it on his stick. Back to the top of the slot. Now tipped away by Kopitar. And the Kings can't clear. Held in. Here's Shen. Poke checked away. Flyers get it out to the right point. Now a shot tipped up in the air and over the net. Taken by Doughty. Doughty's pass. Broken up. Flyers again. Raffl in the slot. He passes to the right side. Kings pick it up and back to center. Here comes Kopitar looking behind for somebody. Kopitar moving in on the backhand, just wide. Kopitar again into the corner. He's got Toffoli with him. Toffoli chasing it down, but it's picked up by Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff in front, shot by Kopitar, deflected up and out of play.
Well, good counterattack by the Kings, but the Flyers did have pressure. The Kings a little bit sloppy in their own zone along the boards, but after that, watch once again, number 5 of the period maybe, right there with Braden McNabb. He just ticks it off the stick. Kopitar, watch the reach. One side, other, and just kind of slides it by, but it's good to have that counterattack the Kings have had, because, you spend some time in your own zone, but then once you get it, very quickly to the other end and very quickly to the net.
Kopitar has points in 4 straight, 8 points in those 4 games. Pass up the middle, but off the stick there of Lewis, and taken by Simmons for the Flyers. Simmons throws it down into the corner, and the puck held in. Shot from the right side, blocked in front now behind the net. Jamie McBain trying to get there. R.J. Umberger picks it up. He's checked by Dwight King. Nice play. King took it away and got it out to center ice. Pass by Lewis. Deep into the Flyer zone. Kings are going to change on the fly with 5:40 left to go here in the first period. And it comes right toward Neuvert there, and he gloves it and hangs on. So we'll have another face-off. Kings ahead, 1-0.
Well, Philadelphia Flyers always seem to have that nice West Coast trip, 3 games, 8 days, 3 games, 10 days, those types of things. They had a chance to go to Montecito. In the middle there is Ed Snyder. He is the owner of the Philadelphia Flyers. And he brought up his team on this trip, and everyone had a chance to go up there. And from what I hear the next person in line to get a mansion up there is Bob Miller, but it's pretty darn nice, they tell me, and I know that some very popular and star-like figures live up there, including Mr. Snyder, and the Flyers respect that, and of course Mr. Snyder been around a long time.
We wish him all the best. Yep. He went to Santa Barbara for treatment for recurrence of cancer, and invited the team down there, and they had a nice time down in Santa Barbara. I'm moving there when Oprah sells me her mansion.
That's the mansion I was talking about. You can get it for like 20% off, I hear right now.
Oh, good.
$59 million.
That's still not in my league. Puck is driven out to center ice and picked up there by Muzzin, who drives it right back in. The Flyers had 2 shots in the first 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Now the Kings have held them to 3 over the last 10 and a half minutes. Right side, in deep, there's a pass by Van de Velde. Played off the boards, held in by the Flyers from the blue line. Gostisbehere with a shot, not blocked, and tipped out to center by Nolan. Shane Gostisbehere back into his own zone to pick it up there. He's out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. Went to Union College. They call him the Ghost. He wears number 53. Voracek moves it up to center ice. Puck flipped into the Kings zone, and Doughty back to play it. He put it behind the net. Flyers almost took it away there, but the Kings get it back. Pass off the boards, up to the blue line. Taken there by Gabrick. Gabrick gets checked by Gostisbehere, and a penalty coming up against Gostisbehere.
Assume interference. Yep. Just stepping up that last, you got to make that contact right away, immediately. If not, if a beat goes by and you stand up and take the bite and you change your lane, that's going to be interference, and that's the call here. So Gabrick gets the tip, and yeah, he does come across. Just one of those things where that's a very difficult thing for any defenseman to play. So the Kings will get their first chance on the power play. Bob, I have to thank. We take a look again. Yeah, you can see how much he changed his lane on Twitter. David Enkness, at David Enkness. Rory Fitzpatrick was the player I was talking about with the Buffalo Sabres a long time ago when they had that kind of right in and everyone started and all of it. And he was, leading the vote getting into the All-Star. So thank you to David out there for that information. And we wish John Scott a lot of luck and fun and all that stuff, but 4 captains should not be one of them.
Oh boy, our fans are sharp, aren't they? They look that stuff up and get it to you right away. Puck held in now by Pearson. His pass over to Gabrick, but tipped away. The Kings on the power play for the first time this afternoon. Puck comes all the way back down into the Kings zone. Doughty tried to dig it out. Now taken behind the net, though, by the Flyers. Bellemare battling for it, and now the Kings get possession of it. The Kings are tied for 11th in the league in the power play. Earlier this year against the Flyers, they were 1 out of 2. Doughty drives it down in deep behind the Flyer net. King goes for it there. Dwight King has the King goal. Out to the right side, McBain. Moves it along the boards, gets it back again. Jamie McBain over now, and a shot by Doughty and a save by Neuvert.
Well, the Kings get what they want. They get the movement of the puck. That was all created by McBain's dancing across the line, walking the line on the blue line to get it to a spot. He's on the side. He'll get it back. Watch him walk across, and then he gave a little fake shot there before he made the pass. That's always a good thing too, just to try to set the goaltender and get him focused on the shot.
3:38 to go here in the first period, and a face-off in the Flyer zone. Lewis facing off for the Kings on the draw. Now they're going to do it again. Giroux in there for the Flyers. Ready to go as Mark Wheeler, the linesman, talks to both players before he drops the puck here. And the Kings win the draw. They get it back to Muzzin at the left point. Muzzin's pass along the boards, sent down in deep behind the net to King. Lewis tried to get it to King. Now Brown has it. Brown's pass along the boards, taken away and cleared by the Flyers, driven all the way down the ice by Luke Schenn. Kings have 55 seconds left to go in the power play. Here's Martinez up the center ice now. His pass on the right wing. Kings into the zone. Driving down back behind the net. Back to the blue line it goes to Muzzin. He got it from Lewis. Trevor Lewis still with it. Back to Muzzin. Muzzin sends it off on the right wing side to Martinez. To Muzzin. Muzzin shoots on a save. Neuvert saw it all the way.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. That's one where the timing was just off there for the Kings. They had possession. They're moving around. Jake's probably waiting for someone to get to the front, but you'll see it open up. Wide open in the middle. So once Schultz gets out of the way, Neuvert gets a chance to see it all the way. That's a second shot for the Flyers. Excuse me, for the Kings against the Flyers on this power play. And it's not necessarily a dangerous one, so you want to tally those shots, but that one probably just put in the bank as, okay, if you're the Flyers, let's give that shot. Goaltender will make the save every time.
Flyers win the draw here, and it is not cleared at the blue line, held in by Kopitar. Kopitar along the right wing boards. He shovels it back to the blue line. Kings get it over now to Doughty. Shoots! He scores! With a blast on a one-timer, and it's 2-0 Kings.
Bazooka. That was just unloaded. We've seen Drew improve this skill over the last 4 months or so, coming into camp, probably worked on it in the summer, and this one is just labeled. I mean, you've got the goaltender going side to side. He not only goes back against the flow, it's top corner, it's hard, it's accurate, the pass is perfect. Look at that, you can't blame the goaltender there. Compared to that shot before that by Muzzin, where you could see it all the way, you could see that one all the way. Excuse me, the lane was there for it to see it all the way. He couldn't see it because it was going too fast.
Doughty gets his 7th of the year. It comes on the power play, and the Kings with a 2-0 lead. Jake Muzzin gets an assist on it. That's his 100th NHL point for Muzzin. And Kopitar gets an assist. So Kopitar now assists in 5 straight games for him and points in 5 straight, 9 points in those 5. Kings with it again. Toffoli gets it back. He shoots and a save by Neuvert. Toffoli with a great chance there. The Kings drive it in. They have to touch up to be onside.
That's a huge save by Neuvert. I mean, that could be 3-0. That was 2 highly skilled players. Toffoli, Doughty. Doughty jumping up, give and go, give it right back. A good shot, never saved.
1:48 left to go here in the first period. Puck is cleared by the Kings back into the Flyer zone, and an icing call against the Kings.
Just Drew Doughty. He's talked about this. The Kings talked to him about it. Down low, up high. I've talked about it before. I think in the past, Drew was so set on picking corners, and even though he picked the corner right there, that's just unloading it. If he gets enough opportunities, you will find the corners. Well, that one there is just making sure the goaltender doesn't have a chance, and Drew did everything he could. Big power play blast.
And the Kings with it in their own zone now as they get it to Muzzin. Muzzin to Gabrick. Gabrick up to center ice. Pearson let it go, and it's brought across the line down the left side, and checked along the boards is Shore. Costas Pierce stepped into him. Shores pass up the middle. Shot by Gabrick. Knocked down, saved. Puck comes off on the right side. Held in by McBain. McBain to Gabrick. Gabrick behind the net. Made a move, but forgot to take the puck with him. Puck comes back to the blue line. Shot from there by Ehrhoff is deflected, blocked, and deflected back into the green zone. Both teams at full strength. Christian Ehrhoff again. Up to center ice. Drives it into the Flyer zone and behind the net. Flyers pick it up. They get it up to White. White to center ice. Kings come back to take it away and put it back in the Flyer zone. Now it's center ice. Here's Brown for the Kings into the Flyer zone. Brown, backhander and a save. Looked like it was going wide, but save made by Neuvirth.
So Dustin Brown gets the counterattack, but what we saw on the road trip was working hard to get the puck back. Look at Brown. He's in behind. Little stumble. Watch this. Body position. Good look right there. Isolate Dustin Brown and make sure he gets body position, leans in, creates a turnover, and the Kings go right back the other way. So Dustin was out there. The Kings have lost the puck for about 5 seconds, and immediately they get it back.
Now on the draw here, the Flyers have it. Out to the right point, and it bounces over the stick of Martinez. He's got to get back in a hurry. Flyers pick it up. Left side, Raffle down into the corner, and a penalty now against the Kings. Delayed penalty, shot from the right side by Shen, just knocked away. And the whistle blows. Holding is going to be the call.
The referee, Brad Watson, giving more arm signals like it was one of those where you reach your hand away from your body and obstructed the player, not necessarily grabbing on. Muzzin will get the call against him. So there was a lot of instruction there by the referee to Jake about what you can't do. Sometimes the hold is just kind of grabbing a hold of a jersey or grabbing a hold of an arm. That was more just getting it out away from your body and feeding. At least that's what the referee said. And there it is. You see him get it underneath. Yeah. He actually did a little do-si-do too. So he tried to get inside shoulder position, could not get it. He takes the hold.
Flyers 0 for 1 with one shot with a man advantage. They've got only 29 seconds to work on this one. Kings with the lead. Kings don't clear. Left side, Gostisbehere with a shot. Save. Rebound right in front and back to the blue line. Gostisbehere again. Moves it over on the left side. Shot from there. Knocked down by Quick, and he covers it up.
Braden McNabb, what a period he's had, Bob. What a period. That last time the puck just dropped there to the side, it was Braden McNabb with a shield. Watch the body shield right here. Simmons tries to get, look at this. He just pushes him away. Just gets him out of there. Because the puck is there. It was stick-on-stick lockup. Great job by McNabb. His stick has been so effective here in the first period.
Face off in the Kings zone, and off the draw, Kopitar has it. 12 seconds to go in the period. He comes to center ice, takes his time, flips it up in the air, and a bouncer that's gloved by the goaltender Neuvirth. He moves it behind the net. 3 seconds to go in the game. Pass up on the right side, Claude Giroux, and that's the end of the first period. The Kings get goals from Dwight King, his second. Drew Doughty, his seventh, that came on the power play. Kings Hockey is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. Only at Jack in the Box. And by Subaru. Subaru loves promise. Subaru's pledge is to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. Back in the 1970s, it seemed every time the Kings played the Flyers, the game turned into a brawl. After all, the Flyers were nicknamed the Broad Street Bullies. But nothing that I can remember looked like March 11th in 1979. A bench-clearing brawl that took minutes to clear up. Everybody paired off, several fights, and the referees would break up one, and then another one would break out. And it just went on and on forever. And finally, it was ended. But some of those penalty minutes and records are still in the Kings record book today. Look at this. Most penalty minutes in one game, 186. 3 minors, 8 majors, 14 misconducts. Most penalty minutes in one game, both teams, 380 minutes. You can see the penalties. Most penalties in one period by both teams, 50 penalties in the first period, 6 minors, 16 majors, 28 misconducts. That seemed to be the way it went in Philadelphia. Let's hope, and I don't think we'll see anything like that in the second period here today.
Well, Bob, I don't think we're going to see that either. The game has changed. The game has changed. A lot of fun back then, a lot of different type of fun.
All depended whether you were the puncher or the punchy.
Exactly. We got a story about one of the guys that was involved in that game. I'll get to that maybe a little bit later.
Yeah, okay. Like to hear it. Second period underway here as the Flyers still on the power play for a minute 11 now. Kings have a 2-0 lead. Offside, Flyers at the blue line.
Was Randy Holt involved in that game?
Yes, very much involved.
He played for the Sudbury Wolves, and I grew up just outside of Sudbury. One Friday night, knocked on my door, someone to pick up my sister on a date.
Yeah.
Randy Holt. Of course, I whacked him upside the head a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's my sister. But, well, he was a little flying off the, he can do that every once in a while.
In that game that we were talking about, Randy Holt had 67 minutes in penalties.
Here you go.
In the first period. 3 majors. He had 5 misconducts in that period. He was a bad boy. Flyers wound up winning the game, unfortunately, 6-3. But back up to center ice now. Here is Jake Voracek. Flyers on the power play. They've had 2 shots on it. Pass left side. Schenn shoots, and it's high and wide. And rebound all the way to the blue line and out to center ice.
The Flyers have that opportunity here, obviously, to kind of get back in this game. They weren't that bad in the period. The Kings capitalized. Kings had that pressure on, but now with the power plays, Philadelphia looking for that opportunity.
Giroux moved it off on the right side. Kings go back to get it. Doughty behind the net. He slaps it around the boards and all the way back into the Flyer zone. And now 15 seconds remain in the King penalty. Flyers with it again. Bring it up to center ice now. Driven into the King zone. 5 seconds to go in the King penalty. Puck along the boards, broken up and cleared to center, and the Kings have killed the penalty. Muzzin comes out of the penalty box.
That was solid. That was a solid kill right there. Never really allowed the Flyers to set up at any time.
Puck is in the King zone along the boards, broken up by Pearson. He got it head to shore, but now back into the King zone and knocked down and played by Martinez. Over to Ehrhoff. Martinez with it now. His pass on the right side to Pearson. Pearson's pass, partially tipped when the Flyers take over. We'll get it back toward the King line. Broken up there. Kings have it. Here's Kopitar across the line. Kopitar down the right side. Just checked away a little bit by Luke Schenn. And now at the right point, Flyers trying to clear it out. Lawton gets it out to center ice, and the Kings back in their own zone to play it. Flipped on the backhand by Muzzin to Gabrick. Gabrick shovels it now to Kopitar. Gabrick, Kopitar, and Lucic here. Puck comes left side. Muzzin shoots, and it just deflected and wide to the right side. Now back over to Muzzin again. Muzzin walks in front. His shot or pass hit the side of the net. Now into the corner. Loose puck. Going forward there is Radko Gudas. Gudas, number 3 for the Flyers, trying to dig it out. Kopitar is there for the Kings. So is Gabrick. Puck comes out to the right point. Taken there by McBain. Up the middle, Lucic. He got checked there as the Flyers stepped right into him as he got ready to pass the puck. Pass ahead now, and back is Muzzin to break it up. And then Muzzin takes a whack from Lawton. Kings drive it right back in, steered into the corner there by Michael Neuvert.
Little shift by Muzzin. He had it offensively, trying the offensive attacks, moving the puck around. Then he had to be that safety valve coming across, stick on puck to break it up.
Chased in by Raffl into the King zone. He throws a check at Doughty. Puck comes around the boards to King. King to Doughty. Doughty quickly back to the blue line. Picked up there by Lewis. Lewis throws it in toward Brown. Brown driving in to get body position. Then he gets whacked pretty good. Puck taken by the Flyers. Raffl gets it off on the right side. Kings with a 2-0 lead. Puck driven down into the King zone. And Doughty back to get it. He plays it up to King. Dwight King. His pass played off the boards by Brown. Brown at center ice. Feeds it back to King on the right wing. Dwight King hanging on. Dropped it to Brown. His shot deflected up high and out of play.
You can see how the Kings are leaving their zone. Their crisp passes on the stick. Good puck placement in the offensive zone. So Jake Muzzin, I talked about him on the last play. So he's got the angle. He's on the left side. He's going to come across. Now he picks the right time. There's a timing factor here too, where Lawton gets it, had to keep himself on side. You see Jake just not after the initial stick, the push and the shove. There's strength too. So a whole bunch of different elements coming together right there to make the play solid defense.
Nick Shore on the faceoff. He's the second best faceoff man for the Kings percentage-wise. Kopitar is the leader. Puck is taken by the Flyers, though, in their own zone. Can't clear it out yet. Now they may have a chance. Pass back behind the net and then cleared up to the blue line and all the way down the Kings zone. No icing here. Kings back to get it. Quick puts it in the corner to Pearson. Pearson back over toward Martinez. Out of his reach. Played there by Toffoli. Martinez. Now to center ice. Into the right wing corner. Overskated by Couturier. Medvedev gets hit down the corner and Kings trying to get possession of it there. Raffo had it for a moment. Kings dig it out along the boards and getting knocked down and a trip coming up against the Flyers.
That initial dump in is just one of those things where it didn't look like it was going to be dangerous, but then the Kings, again, their puck placement has been real good. And then you have Pearson keep going here, and the stick gets down low. Originally it wasn't there. But part of that is Tanner Pearson protecting the puck, keeping his body between the checker and the puck, and he gets it done there. So just an example there, that last shift of the Kings puck possession. When they did give it up, so to speak, on the dump in, they had a man right there to try to get it back. They ended up getting it back 1-for-1 so far. Of course, the big blast, first period from Drew Doughty.
Kings had 3 shots on that last power play, and now the puck taken in the Flyer zone by Martinez to Brown. Kings on the power play. Brown stopped there, but Lewis in front. He had King right in front, couldn't get the puck. Back to the blue line. Martinez to Brown. Brown can't find a place to pass, so he gives it back to Martinez. Now Muzzin shoots, blocked in front, loose puck. Who's going to get to it? It comes right toward Norwood. They knocked it away. Kings get possession again. Out to Muzzin. Muzzin walks the line, feeds it over left side to Brown. Brown, and his pass tipped up over the net by King. Brown with it again. Back to Muzzin. Now to Martinez. Martinez to Muzzin. Muzzin waits, hangs on, shoots, save, rebound is cleared. Back into the Kings zone.
The Flyers just trying to get in the way there. Good possession time by the Kings and a lot of different points of attack. If it's not working on one side, you move it to the other.
Here is Pearson on the left wing. Pearson, Flyer zone, cut off by Lukshin. And taken away by Couturier, and he clears it into the Kings zone. Chased down by McBain. Over to Doughty. 51 seconds to go in the power play for the Kings. Here's Drew. Fires it in. Glove save. Neuvirth, he's going to clear it himself up to center ice. Trying to get a break, but out comes Quick to break it up. But he didn't clear it out. Held in by Couturier. He shoots and a save by Quick. And now the puck back to center ice. Neuvirth trying to, and he did, break the man up to center ice. With a nice pass, but Quick was ready to get there and came out and poked it away, and the puck comes back out to center ice. Flyers take it away again, though. Right wing side. Pass out to the left side. A shot by White is wide and off the boards. 12 seconds to go in the King power play. Shot by Gudas and a save by Quick. And the Flyers trying to get a short-handed goal here.
They really settled it down here, Bob, in the second half of this kill. They took the Kings out of their rhythm.
They've had 3 short-handed goals this year. Shot by Kopitar is up and off the netting. Out of play. Both teams back at full strength. 13:24 to go in the second. 2-0 Kings.
Ball of Carl's Cam, worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Neuvirth, I don't want it. Clear it. He's looking to send someone on a breakaway. Oh, the next guy to touch it is Mr. Quick. Now watch, Jonathan, he had to get back because Couturier did the right thing. When you sense the goaltender's going to be in trouble, that's when you throw it on net. The goaltender might be stumbling. He might be trying to get back, and something bad might happen. So Neuvirth doing his job, and that's always a heads up right there. And as you mentioned, Bob, shorthanded in that situation. So looking for that one goal to get him back in this game.
Kings just announced Andrei Kopitar, player of the month for December, and he's going to take this faceoff. Right to this point, he's got 9 points in the last 5 games. 8 of them on assists. Puck taken across the line by the Flyers. Poke checked away by guess who? McNabb. Left side. Kopitar in toward Toffoli. Toffoli behind the net. Kopitar comes by to take it. Kopitar. Flyer zone. Chase behind the net. Still has it. Gets it back to Doughty at the blue line. And Doughty lost it out to center ice. It rolled off his stick. He got back in a hurry and made the right play. Got it all the way back into the King zone to the goaltender, Quick, because if he lost it there at center ice, it's a breakaway for the Flyers.
Quick goes over the boards, but it doesn't go over the glass. It goes into the bench, so that's the reason there's no penalty on the play. Most unique voice in sports is on FS1, joining Colin Cowherd as he brings you his Smart Sports Talk, along with some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment. Every weekday, The Herd with Colin Cowherd, weekdays 9 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1.
On the draw here in the Kings zone, Giroux trying to get to it, but the Kings have it, and it's cleared out to center ice by Muzzin.
Giroux tried to go ahead with it, Bob. It was something that he's been working on, talking about working offensively in the zone.
Now pass down into the corner of the Kings zone. Flyers waffle back behind the net. He got knocked down, but he gets help there. Puck is held in. Here is Giroux, their leading scorer. His pass and shot deflected, and the Kings get it out to center ice. It was deflected by Jordan Nolan, and Nolan has it again back at the King line. Here's Nolan weaving his way into the zone. Right side it goes. Andrioff couldn't get his stick on it, and it's picked up now and brought to center by Delzato. Michael Delzato over to Braden Shen. Braden Shen trying to drive in deep. He's checked there by Muzzin. Braden Shen, Kings #1 pick in 2009. Now behind the net, cut off there by Quick. 12 minutes left to go in the second period. Puck comes up ahead to center ice. Flyers back to pick it up in their own zone. Chased all the way in is Nick Schultz. Now pass on the left wing side, taken there by Scott Lawton. Lawton gets hit hard along the board by Martinez. Kings can't clear it out yet, and now it comes out to center ice. Flyers regain control. Medvedev in the slot. Can he get a shot? Yes, he does. Saved by Quick with some traffic, a lot of traffic in front of him. Or Voracek, I'm sorry, not Medvedev. Voracek with the shot.
Flyers back in the Kings off right there. That last faceoff I mentioned with Claude Giroux, Bob, he tried this the other night in San Jose, or a similar thing where he's trying to go forward. He doesn't get through there, but actually in San Jose, he scored a goal right off the faceoff by shooting it like that. And it's very difficult to do because the bottom hand is in a reverse grip. It's turned over backwards. And to still get enough torque on it to go through. Didn't work that time, worked in San Jose.
Giroux with 12 goals, 17 assists for 29 points to lead the Flyers. And up to center, here's Toffoli. He's had the hot hand in goals lately. Toffoli in deep, Flyer zone. Still has it, dropped it off to Kopitar. Kopitar made a move, and a penalty coming up against the Flyers as Kopitar got taken down.
They know they're guilty. Looks like Ryan White's going to the box. He kind of just knew right away. Kopitar picked it up in one quick step. He took it to the middle. And you see how the stick is involved right in the jersey. Got into the logo. Gets under the arm. Kopitar, if he gets to that spot, he might have the opportunity, but obviously can't get there because of the hook. So it's an opportunity here, another for the Kings. I mentioned the opportunity for the Flyers earlier. Now it's just, is it too early to say put the nail in the coffin? Maybe it is too early, especially with what's going on in the NHL. A lot more comebacks nowadays. But a good opportunity here for the Kings to get it on the board offensively.
And they control the draw. Comes out to Doughty. Doughty at the right point. Can't get the shot there. His pass out of the reach there of Toffoli. Picked up by Lucic to Toffoli. He wheels it back to Doughty, but Doughty had moved to his left. The puck came back to his right and out to center ice.
Right now, the Flyers are really doing a good job getting in lanes as far as blocking shots, and that's kind of throwing the Kings just a little bit out of sync here, looking for that opening.
Flyers chase it down and driven to the right point, held in there by Doughty. To Kopitar, left side, Martinez, his shot, deflected up and into the corner to Toffoli. And taken away by the Flyers and cleared.
You can see there, the pass was made over to Martinez. He took a look up. Then by the time he went to shoot it, Gudas gets into the shooting lane and blocks the shot.
Kings start back out again, up ahead to center ice to Brown, broken up there, but picked up by Doughty. Drives it in. Luke Schenn turns, got it to the blue line, held in nicely by Muzzin, but taken away again by Schenn, and again he can't clear, held in by Brown. Back to Muzzin. Muzzin, back over to Brown. Flyer zone. Dustin Brown hanging on to it. Brown, pass in front, backhander and a save. Pinching down in is Muzzin to pick it up behind the net. Brown again. Brown trying to find some room. Comes out a little bit. Now he shoots and it's tipped behind the net. Picked up there by Trevor Lewis, a shot. Blocked. Lewis got it back again from King. To the blue line, Ehrhoff. To Lewis. Back to Ehrhoff. Left side it goes to Muzzin. Muzzin tried to get it over to Lewis. It was tipped on the way, but Lewis got to it. Now King behind the net. King over to Brown. Brown in the circle. Brown into King. Right side. And a pass that hit Ehrhoff and is cleared by the Flyers.
Now it was deflected by a Flyers, so the Flyers doing a good job staying at home there. The Kings, good control, 2 shots on the power play. Not necessarily a power play where he had a lot of momentum, a lot of chances, but certainly that control. And the Kings still have that 2-0 lead.
Flyers kill it off as the Kings bring it back up to center and drive it up in the air into the Flyer zone. Flyers back to play it. Gudas now up to center ice, taken away by the Kings, and Doughty sends it back into the zone. Radko Gudas back over to get it again. He feeds it up the left wing side, taken by Nick Schultz. Kings try to hold it in. Gudas with it now. Gudas behind the net. His pass. Flyers trying to clear it out. Can't do it again. It's held in by Gabrick. And a hard collision there. Shore was involved in that. Puck comes into the corner and still a battle there as Kings trying to dig it free as Pearson is there for the Kings. He's double teamed. Shore helps out. Flyers take it away. They get it up to center ice. Here on the left side. Here at Bellemare stopped, and then a shot and a stop there, and the shot by Voracek as Quick made the save. Still 2-0 Kings. Coming up after the break, Patrick O'Neill will be on the bench with Trevor Lewis.
But Trevor Lewis, I'm sure, wishes he could have had a goal on that power play. Listen, the chemistry between you, King, and Brown, when it's clicking, how do you describe it, and what makes it work so well?
I think we're all pretty simple players. I think we know what each other's going to do. We're going to keep it simple. Just get pucks in, get on the forecheck, get pucks high, and we're all going to crash the net. So we just got to keep it going here.
There's still a lot of time left. What do you like about the way the team's playing?
Oh, we're drawing a lot of penalties. We're getting a lot of shots. I think we need more net drive and getting some greasy goals.
Thanks, Louis.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Now that's exactly what's happening. The Kings are getting that pressure. They're spending just about the entire period so far in the Philadelphia Flyers zone.
Shot from the right side, though, and a save by Quick, and a loose puck, and covered by Quick. He was able to dig it out of a bunch of legs down there.
He had to, Bob. You're right. He had to go through a whole bunch of things there. The first shot was kind of, I don't know if it was deflected or it was just kind of a change-up on a shank. But you see Quick, his timing was thrown off, but watch him fight. Right there. He's got it. Good position by Martinez inside. Right now they're taking away a little broken stick, repairing some ice, all that scramble in front. So good example there of how sometimes a shot that doesn't come hard onto the goaltender becomes an issue too, because you're expecting the shot to come in at about 100. The changeup comes and you've got to react to make the save.
Giroux out at center to take this face-off against Kopitar in the King zone. And Kopitar wins the draw. Martinez banks it up ahead to Brown. Brown at center ice. Tried to move it off on the left to King, but it just didn't get there, and it hops into the King bench. Kings had a great month of December. 10-3-1, 21 points. The most wins in December in Kings history. 3 times before, they had won 9 games in December. So they'd like to get a nice start for January here this afternoon.
Yeah, we've had the Merry Christmas. Now let's have the Happy New Year.
Kings 4-0 on that last trip. 12-3-2 in their last 17 games. Face-off outside the Flyer blue line here in the second period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. 8:01 to go in period number 2. Kings with goals from Dwight King, his second. Drew Doughty, his 7th. That came on the power play, and that's made it 2-0 Kings. Gostisbehere back in his own zone for the Flyers. They get it up to center ice and sweep it down into the King zone where Martinez back behind the net, feeds it the left side, cleared out to center and all the way back into the Flyer zone. This is going to be icing against the Kings.
Andre Kopitar talked to him in practice yesterday, and they're talking about the road trip and everyone coming back, and he feels the importance right now with the team playing together like they are and everyone contributing. He kind of said, he said games 35 through 50, from about Christmas to the All-Star break. Sometimes that's when a team gets in a funk, or you get to that lazy days of winter type of thing going on. And so far, that start to that segment, real good for the Kings.
Shot wide to the left side. Flyers won the draw. The shot was wide as it came back toward the blue line. And now in front, broken up. Flyers have it again, though. And the Kings take it away and bring it back to center. Pass on the right side to Brown. Tipped away there at center ice. Tipped away by Michael Delzato. Now Michael Raffel with it.
A little push here by the Flyers. A little bit smarter on the forecheck. The positioning's been become a little bit better here at this point in the second period.
Kings get it over to Muzzin. Muzzin gets it up ahead to King. King's pass knocked down. Kings control it back in their own zone, though.
You can see it there where the Flyers are controlling the gap a little bit better so the Kings can't attack like they did earlier.
Here's Toffoli, right side. He shoots, it's blocked. Puck comes up the middle. Kings hold it in. Now the right side is Ehrhoff. Banked it off the boards. Kings trying to dig it out, but it comes out to center ice and taken by the Kings again. Jamie McBain over on the left side. Ehrhoff drives it in the Flyer zone. Lucic going forward down the corner, gets help from Kopitar. Kopitar's pass taken away, but Toffoli picks it up. He wheels it in front. It goes behind the net to Lucic. Milan Lucic with it. He tried to give it to Kopitar. Kopitar got body position again. Protects the puck. Kopitar still with it to the blue line, and the Flyers finally get it out to center ice and then put it right back in their own zone. Back in to get it now, Van de Velde, and moved it up the left side. Cleared up ahead towards center ice. Right in front of the penalty timekeeper now. A battle as Nolan is in there.
And you get to that point of the game now where it just strikes me where that next goal is going to be so much more important. The Kings have controlled the tempo here in the second period. Not really scoring chances for the Flyers, but 2-0 lead, so that next one's so important.
Here the puck taken by the Kings on the right side. Nice move here. Nolan moving in. He shoots, and it's wide. And the rebound to the left point. Held in there by the Kings, but taken by the Flyers now, and all the way back to the King blue line.
That was quick transition.
A lot of room there for Jordan Nolan. Nolan with it again at the blue line, but offside called against the Kings. So we're down to 5:27 to go here in the second period, and the Kings have the 2-goal lead.
First period, the Kings got it rolling. Gudas can't get it out. Watch how quickly the Kings come back. And watch how quickly this puck moves. 1, 2, 3. Right in the net. So the counterattack is there. Too quick for the goaltender to react. Then the Kings keep it going. Power play. Bang by Drew Doughty. He just waited for that one-time pass from Jake Muzzin. The Kings worked hard to get it back. That's where we stand. Kings lead 2-0. McDonald's assists the game. Gabrick gets it to King. And Muzzin gets it to Doughty.
Kings have it now as Doughty drives it into the Flyer zone. 5:20 to go here in the second period. Flyers trying to clear it out, and they do. They get it out to center ice to Wayne Simmons. Former King. Simmons drives it back behind the net. Cut off by Quick. He put it in the corner of McNabb. Nice little pass there, and the Kings get it to the blue line, but not out. Now they get another chance, but it's taken away from McNabb. Shot saved by Quick, and the shot by Simmons.
A little bit, one of those where you're a few times, and I'm going to nitpick here because the Kings have been solid, more than solid, since the first 2 minutes of the game, but just kind of leaving the zone without the puck there, where you don't have it, and you're going once and then twice, but see Doughty react to force Simmons into something he didn't want to do. A lot of defensemen in that situation will just back off, and that gives Wayne Simmons more time. Simmons tried to use Doughty as a screen, but not able to get it through with any type of ability to pick a corner. So the Kings still 5 minutes remaining here. And next goal, looking to see what happens there.
Simmons, second-round pick by the Kings in 2007. Puck comes out to the left point. Flyers with it. Gostisbehere. He shoots, and it's deflected way up high off the netting.
Well, if you're looking for exclusive LA Kings coverage, you can check out the new LA Kings edition, updated with unique, exclusive stories, features, videos, and more. And it's all about your LA Kings. Visit LAKingsEdition.com to start reading. You can do that today.
Another face-off in the Kings zone here. Shore facing off for the Kings against Couturier. Couturier wins the draw. Gostisbehere drives it back behind the net. Martinez is there. He let it go over to Muzzin. Muzzin with some room, got it out the center and all the way down. An icing call against the Kings.
Gabrick beat him there.
Well, they wave it off. Yep, Gabrick got back in time. Now behind the net. Here, Gabrick to the blue line to Martinez. Slides it left side. Shot from there by Muzzin. Saved by the goaltender, Neuvert. Now picked up by Shore. Shore on the right side. Up the middle and a shot just wide by Gabrick. Tipped wide. Picked up by the Kings again. Here's Shore to the blue line. Left side, a shot from there and a save and a rebound. Gabrick with a shot, and
We'll say the hand pass, Bob,
Yeah.
so it must have been the Kings because they maintained control of the puck. Nick Shore on that last shift did a job. Twice he did such a smart job getting available. You know, that support that the Kings have been executing so well of late, where if someone is hesitating, well, he came towards the passer. He didn't just stand off to the far side and say, okay, give me the puck. He went over, made an easy pass, and the Kings were able to keep possession.
in the first period, the Kings outshot the Flyers 15-7. Here in the second, Kings have 7 shots, Flyers 6. Kings with a 2-0 lead. Puck comes around the boards, up on the right wing side, taken by R.J. Umberger. Umberger up to center. He was born in Pittsburgh, spent 3 years at Ohio State University. Puck back behind the net. Picked up there and sent to Toffoli. He didn't get it, but it comes ahead now and picked up by the Kings. Lucic over to Kopitar. It rolls right toward the goaltender Neuvirth. Lucic checked along the boards by Van de Velde. Puck comes up to the blue line. McBain held it in. 2 Flyers overskated. Now shot from the left side and a save by Neuvirth on Toffoli's bid. Toffoli checked there. Kopitar over to get it. Checked by Umberger, and the puck cleared to center ice.
Still a scrum down in the Flyers zone with all the Kings. Amazing how quick the Kings can counterattack there. Just one touch passing once again. After the Flyers had the puck, they coughed it up, and then that really puts the other team back on their heels because that puck never stops and you can never catch up to it.
Pass up ahead to center ice to Lucic. Kings trying to gain control. Nolan did. He flipped it into the Flyer zone, and Radko Gudas back to get it. He's in his 4th year out of the Czech Republic.
Opportunity here for the Kings' 4th line to keep this momentum going, keep the pressure on.
Now Voracek up to center ice. Pass on the right side. Tipped down in deep, and Andy Andrioff back to get it. He takes a hard ride into the boards. Puck is loose, and Andrioff let it go into the corner. Taken there by Michael Mersch. Mersch's pass to Andrioff, and he chipped it out to center ice.
Battle, get it out 10 feet from your blue line. Good job.
Flyers back in their own zone. Gudas checked there. Kings, Nolan takes it away. Left side. Nolan still with it. Tried to throw it toward the front of the net. Deflected back behind the net. I think Mersch had been knocked down in front of the net.
And the ice time Jordan Nolan gets the last 5 games or so, he's been really effective with the puck.
Michael Raffle in deep. Checked by Doughty. Kings take it away. And it's cleared to the blue line and then up to center ice. Kings hit over to Brown. Here's Dustin Brown. Brown trying to make a move into the slot. Puck taken away by Couturier. Now up to center ice. Flip to the King line. Broken up by Doughty. Played now by Dwight King. King driving in deep. He gets checked there. Couturier over to get it. He gets it to Brayden Schenn. Flyers trying to get back on a 3-on-2. Here's Raffle with Schenn. Shoots it wide to the left. Puck behind the net. And covered by Quick.
Jonathan Hassett right there with the old drop the stick, get the puck, and hold on for the face-off. Jordan Nolan, so much more confidence. He gets Gudas looking at the puck. You don't see that too often. Dance like that right between the legs. If you have the puck like that and you do get the other team's defender to come directly at you without the angle, that's when you try those one-on-one moves. So it's a good read, first of all, by Jordan. Then, of course, good execution going between the legs. So just want to keep that, call it before, a steamroll effect going for the Kings, where one line after another. Simple, effective, play the same style.
Off the draw here in the King zone. The loose puck. Gabrick pokes it down into the corner. Muzzin goes for it there. Van de Velde was there for the Flyers. Gabrick digs it out. Kings get it out to center ice. Into the Flyer zone, chased down by Pearson. Pearson going for it back behind the net there with Nick Schultz. Flyers have control of it. They bring it up to center ice. Here across the line, a shot by Gostis there and a save by Quick.
The Kings for the second shift in a row able to handle the attack going the other way. Just get back and force a shot. Gosh's Bear with a few words for Doughty. I'm just making the assumption that Drew probably chirped him a little bit there. It was, heard the story that the other day when Derek Forbort got into the scrap, sticking up for his teammate, came back to the bench and Drew was chirping him. He said, you didn't even get a shot off, you didn't get a punch off. He's all over his own teammate. All in fun, I guess. But and of course with Derek, it's just the important thing, he jumped in and he was not hesitating. He was assertive when he jumped in on that play.
Kopitar on the draw here against Giroux, who wins the draw. Then a shot blocked, as it was blocked by Lucic, picked up by the Kings and flipped up the center ice and into the Flyer zone. And now we are down to 1 minute to go here in the second period. Voracek moves it off down the right side. Delzato. And flips down and deep behind the net. Voracek again up the middle. Simmons with a shot up high. Giroux plays it. Back over now to Voracek. Voracek behind the net. He gets stopped there by Doughty. Puck is taken by Doughty, but then the Flyers regain control. Now it's taken away. Can the Kings clear it? Yes, they do, out to center ice. Face down by Delzato. Kings back to get it. Here is Lucic. Now in deep. Kopitar waits, shoots, and a save. Rebound, shot wide by Lucic. Boy, Kopitar was so patient there, and I thought he's going to pick the corner.
I think the puck was bouncing a little bit on him, so he had to kind of settle it down. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe the goaltender gets back to get a piece of it. But that was a huge chance for a 3-0 lead.
5 seconds to go in the second period. Puck taken by the Flyers. That's going to do it. So end of 2. No scoring in the second period. The Kings still lead 2-0.
Look at Andre. He wants to take a look before he leaves to see exactly what happened. On the play again, turnover by the Flyers. Kings right back at it. So it's right there, it's right there, it's right there, and then just gets a piece. He was trying to wait till he can go around completely. Look at the glove of the goaltender. And he just gets a piece of it. Just a piece. So good job there by Neuvirth to keep his arm in play to make the save.
Kings have 23 shots through 2 periods, 14 for the Flyers. Kings lead 2-0. Let's go outside to Patrick and Sean. It's the Jack in the Box intermission report.
That it is, Bob. Thank you very much. Yeah, Odie, that was some save. You feel like this game feels like 4-0, but 2-0, and that's maybe a tad worrisome.
I wouldn't say worrisome, but I think the Kings are on a good path right now. Yeah, you'd like to score more goals, but we saw some of the save Neuvirth is making. Quick has made a couple of saves, obviously not called upon as much as the Philly goalie, but LA's doing all the right things. They're having zone time. They're getting some chances, creating turnovers. I like the way they're playing.
Yeah, keep it going for a full 60. We'll talk about it. We got the Jack in the Box intermission report coming up. It's the Kings and the Flyers. Also, a shift with Braden McNabb. We'll be right back.
Kings Hockey is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Mercury Insurance. Get a free Jonathan Quick bobblehead. Learn more at mercuryinsurance.com/kings.
Welcome back to Staples Center. Matinee action. Kings and Flyers downstairs right now to Davis Payne, Kings assistant coach. Davis, just want your read on a 2-0 lead after 40 and maybe a couple of keys that you want to focus on right here to start this period.
There's a couple guys we got to make sure don't have possessions, and that's Voracek and Giroux. We want to make sure we're limiting their ice time, limiting their space, making sure that they've got to work for all 200 foot. But beyond that, we got to make sure we're continuing to play our game. We still feel that we can get some more pucks and possessions inside the offensive zone, and that's by being quicker than their coverage. They got structure we can get to. We need to make sure we get through it quick.
All right, Davis, thanks very much. So the first thing is very specific. You know, you kind of look at a couple players and you target them, and there's one of them right there in Voracek. And of course, Giroux is the guy we know he's going to be a factor. He is the catalyst for the team. Now they've got him out there with Wayne Simmons, so good mixture on that line. I'm sure on the bench, you know, the communication that goes on, you know, there's that jockeying back and forth with coaches. Again, the home team gets that matchup advantage at home. But sometimes there's changes made, there's quick changes, double shifts, those types of things. So a lot of communication goes into making sure everyone knows when those guys are on the ice.
Well, Voracek leads the Flyers in shots so far in the game, and they win the draw to start the third period. Puck driven down in. He's got 3 shots. The Kings, Muzzin and Lewis, share the King lead with 4 shots apiece. Shot from the blue line, knocked down in front and picked up by King. He clears it out to center ice. Into the Flyer zone. Michael Delzato back to get it. Delzato injured recently, and he's back in action. Puck is still in the Flyer zone as King into Voracek, and so is Brown.
To me, it'll be just the Kings managing the game and playing that offensive zone forecheck. Maybe a simpler approach, but it's been solid since about the first 2 minutes of the game by the Kings. But with that 2-0 lead, it's one of those games where the Flyers are still in it.
Radko Gudas out to center ice, sends it into King zone, and corralled there by Doughty. Sends it over to McNabb. McNabb to Lucic, up ahead to Kopitar. Right side it goes now. Here's Foley, shoots it wide, rebound, shot again, and a save. Lucic got a quick shot as it came off the boards.
I think Lucic spotted the fact the goaltender was on one side, had to get all the way across to the other side, and he did that to make the save.
Kings take it away at center. Martinez to Lucic. Left side chased in by Kopitar. Now to Lucic. Lucic to Giroux. Giroux to Lucic. 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 Gi Toffoli's over on the right wing. Kopitar can't get to it in time. Flyers, Braden Shen moves it ahead, and now out to center ice, picked up by Michael Raffl. Raffl jumped to get out of the way of Martinez, and the puck taken by the Kings in their own zone. Can they clear? Not yet. Lucic, right point, held in there, and shot that's tipped wide. Toffoli with it. Toffoli dropped it from Muzzin. Muzzin cleared it to the blue line, but not out yet, and the Flyers have it again. Sent down in deep for the Flyers. Braden Shen, he's going to go off the ice. Flyers trying to get a partial line change here. Kings have it back in their own zone, and here's Muzzin. Muzzin up to center. His pass, right side. Pearson was at the blue line. He chased it in deep. Puck comes around along the boards. Back down into Pearson. Pearson gets double teamed. He gets some help there, but he still has it on his stick. Pearson now had it taken away, and the Flyers back up to center ice. Van de Velde moves it on the left side, gets it back again. He shoots, and a save by Quick. Loose puck, tipped out to the point. Held in again now. Shot from there is wide. Rebound, Flyers, Gostisbehere with it. He shoots. Blocked right back to him. Gostisbehere fell down the blue line, but he kept the puck in. Comes back over the right side, shot by Medvedev, and a save by Quick.
Quick's been sharp. He has had to be. A lot of traffic going on. So he had to spot that fact and, get out there, be a little bit more aggressive, be as big as possible than he was there to make this save. A little traffic. You see Quick gobbles up the rebound. Kings on breakouts. You have Kopitar here. You have Lucic right here. And you get into a situation where you have more than one option. So the option is up the boards that time. Then Kopitar comes across to support with speed. Good example there of having more than one option helps out that passer. You go up the middle, go up the boards, pick your poison.
Youngster Gostisbehere on the ice. He's 22 years old. He's got 6 goals, and 3 of them have been game-winning goals. Here's Voracek. Voracek pinned along the boards there as Lewis pins him. The Kings dig it out, and up to center comes Brown. Dustin Brown with it. Brown across the line to King. King back to Brown. Brown tried to wheel it in front, taken away by Delzato for the Flyers. To Voracek. Now the Flyers are back in their zone to pick it up and get it up ahead to Giroux, and he puts it back in his own zone. Flyers changing here on the fly with 16:45 to go in the third. Giroux drives it in the Kings zone. Doughty back in to get it. Doughty checked there by Umberger. Puck comes back on the right side. Picked up along the boards. Flyers hold it in for a moment. Kings chip it back out to center ice. Now taken there and pass up the middle, and a shot blocked right in the middle of the shot. Then a shot that steered wide. First shot was by Scott Lawton.
I think it's safe to say the Flyers have more of that shot mentality here in the third period. Any chance of getting it on net?
They hold it in again. Kings zone. Lawton's pass broken up by the Kings and taken by the Kings, and cleared all the way back now as Jordan Nolan cleared it back, and the Flyers chase it down in their own zone. Up to center ice. Gudas. Pass over on the left side to Medvedev, and offside called against the Flyers.
All right, calling all students out there. Take a break from school, grab some friends, head down to Staples Center for a night of LA Kings hockey. Students save 50% on single seats to all regular season LA Kings home games. Visit lakings.com/student to find out more information, or always you can call 1-888-KINGS-LA.
Flyers came in the league the same year as the Kings, 1967, so this is their 49th season. Won the Stanley Cup in 1974 and 75. Flyers on the blue line, they overskated. They had 2 guys there, and it was overskated, but now Braden Shen has it. He drives it down in deep. Couturier was one, and Raffl was the other, and the Kings get it to Kopitar in the Kings zone, but at the blue line, held in there by Raffl, driven toward the net, broken up, and back up to center ice. Kings with it. Kopitar, top of the slot. Kopitar looking for room, drops it back. Ehrhoff with a shot and a save by Neubert.
Okay, the goaltender sees it at the end, but that's a good attack. That's a solid attack with Ehrhoff picking the right time to join. He didn't force it. He just kind of hung back in a support position. On the entry, he's way behind there, but watch, he keeps going, he keeps gliding. Then he becomes a factor. When everyone draws their attention to Kopitar, that's when Ehrhoff becomes the open man. So, again, kind of a triumphant defenseman with Ehrhoff, with McBain, and Forbert. Forbert out today. Daryl Sutter said the other day he's looking for one of those guys to kind of be the guy. So you can just go to him every single night. They talked earlier in the year, though, about Ehrhoff taking some time off just to get some rest.
Nick Shore won the draw to Muzzin. His shot and a save by Neuvert. Kings coming into the game today, the number 2 defensive team in the NHL. Flyers into the Kings zone. Gostisbehere, left side. Now sent down toward Muzzin, or to Simmons. Simmons pass comes all the way back into the Flyer zone. Out of the reach of Shane Gostisbehere.
Gostisbehere on that last entry attempt, he can show you how tricky he is. That quick stop and turn and spin. And I was surprised right there. He just. I thought he was going to keep going on the offensive attack. He didn't do so.
Kings take it away in the Flyer zone. Here is Trevor Lewis to Brown. Brown's pass intercepted. Flyers have it. Back to center they come. Sent down the right side now by Ryan White. Doughty gets back. Third out. Now behind the net. Kings have it again. Here's McNabb. Over to King. King up ahead to Brown. Brown checked at center ice. Tucked back into the Flyer zone. Sent by White. Back behind the net. Go, Kings, go. The fans coming to life here in the third period. Both goals were scored in the first period here this afternoon. Pass up to center ice. Flyers take it away, though. They've got it back in their own zone. Radko Gudas with it. Gudas, his pass ahead to the King line. Picked up there by Raffl. Driving in. His pass right side. Gudas broke his stick, and then a deflection and a save by Quick. The deflection by Couturier, and Quick made the save.
Yeah, Quick had to go and dig it out again, Bob, like you mentioned earlier. And there was a redirection. There was a change-up. He found a way to keep some part of his body in position to make a save. Getting through right here, broken stick. There's the save pad. Hold on. Kings lead 2-0. Goals. They thought they had 3. Children's Hospital Los Angeles save of the game. Michael Neuvert right there. Kopitar pulling, dragging, holding. Watch the glove. Just a piece of it there, picking the right time to reach up. It's an extended position for a goaltender. It takes a lot of strength. We've seen that from Jonathan Quick many times. Neuvert gets a piece, and the Kings unable to make it more than a 2-0 lead.
Now face off in the Kings zone. Giroux on the draw, and it's taken by Muzzin. Put it behind the net to Martinez, and the Kings clear it out to center. Chased down by Milan Lucic. Fired into the Flyer zone. 13.5 to go here in the third. Taken away by Lucic, took it away from Voracek. Flyers have it though, and they move it up to Simmons. Simmons banks it off the boards into the Kings zone, and it is a loose puck played by the Flyers. Voracek put it down in deep, comes around the boards to Simmons. Simmons checked there by Kopitar.
So with the Voracek line on the ice, the Muzzin pair out there as the shutdown pair. Davis Payne said they're going to pay attention to this line, special attention.
Simmons behind the net. Flyers, Simmons shoots, saved by Quick. Loose puck, who's stick? A penalty coming up here.
There's going to be a penalty against Muzzin. So they at least draw a penalty. They being the Philadelphia Flyers. Muzzin stops to argue. I think he was saying what you're saying, Bob. Who had who?
Delayed call against the Kings, so the Flyers have pulled the goalie. They get the extra attacker now. And as soon as the Kings get possession of it, the whistle will stop play. Unless a goal is scored. Flyers up to center ice. Now pass across the line, broken up by Doughty, and the penalty is called.
Muzzin's coming over the boards. He had a chance to argue with the referee earlier. That's Brad Watson. So hold is the call. 2 guys going for the puck. Voracek shields him out. Muzzin steps in. Now it's on this right here. Watch this. Trying to leave it. It's right at the top there. You see what's happening? Yeah, looks like Muzzin was grabbing the stick of Voracek. So Voracek looked like he had the inside position. Whether who had who there, Voracek would have got to the puck, couldn't do so because of the obstruction.
Flyers with a draw. Gostisbehere faked the shot, then a shot knocked away by Quick. Power play for the Flyers. They are 0 for 2 with 3 shots in the game today. Puck held in by Giroux, left side. Back it goes to Gostisbehere. Right side shot by Voracek, and a save and a rebound. Score! They banked it in from the right side. Simmons got his stick on it. And now it's a 1-goal game. The Kings 2, the Flyers 1.
Braden Shen in behind there, so the Flyers they had that first attack going, and they just missed on a pretty good one-timer. But then when they put it back down low, they're able to get more bodies to the front. Good save there. Simmons reaches around, and on the backside, that's where Schenn is, and he beats Doughty to that spot. So the Flyers in this game, I think if you've been watching all day long, you can kind of tell where, that next goal. I said the next goal was going to be very important. Now the Flyers get it. Now it's reaction time. We'll see what the Kings can do here. Of course, the Flyers, maybe a little bit of life. Took them a while to get things going, but they're back within one.
Power play goal. The Kings driving down in deep. Brayden Schenn gets the goal on the power play. And Simmons, two ex-Kings, combining there to get that goal. Schenn with his 8th of the year and 2nd in the last 16 for him. Puck comes up to center ice. Kings take it away. Here's Pearson. Pearson came across the line, but it's batted away again. Flyers chase it down. Here's Ryan White. White in the King zone. Looking for somebody down the middle. Shot deflected into the corner. Flyers had a pretty good opportunity there. Belmer's shot went wide. He's from Paris, France. Puck comes up to center ice and now taken by the Flyers again. Gudas back in his own zone. Now you look back at that save that Neuvirth made on Kopitar in the waning seconds of that second period and how big that is. Puck is banged off the boards back down into the Flyers zone. Taken away by the Kings. Here's Brown. Right side, Brown peels back along the boards. Loses it there. Flyers back to center. 3-on-3. Flyers drive it wide of the net and up on a play. Into the corner, into the netting.
And the Kings tried to counterattack, couldn't get it going. You'll see a smart, nifty little player by Wayne Simmons. I think this is on purpose. Watch it. He realizes he can't score here, and he just places the puck into the crease. Sometimes you fire it across there and it looks dangerous, ends up not being dangerous. I think Simmons did what he thought he wanted to do there, which was just set it in position for someone else. He knew because of the angle he couldn't reach around Jonathan Quick. That line right back out there. Schenn, the goal scorer on the bench. Simmons out there with Drew and Voracek.
7:50 the time of that goal, and it's a one-goal game. Schenn getting his 8th. Here is Toffoli now into the Flyer zone, but offside go the Kings. So the goal, Schenn, is 8 from Simmons and Voracek.
Kings' next opponent, Monday. It'll be on NBCSN. So Bob and I will not have the call. At the Avalanche. You see the record so far, one game above. McKinnon, 33 points, not bad. He can fly. Duchesne, he can fly too. So, and then the Kings will have 2 days off. And this is just going to, we were talking the other day about kind of almost pinpointing this game here at Staples Center, almost like a road game, just to keep the continuity going. And the Kings are in a battle here with a one-goal lead. Coming up on the 10-minute mark of the third.
Now Giroux, right side, King zone. Drops it off there, pass in front, and Voracek can't get a shot. Cleared back to center ice, and Lucic chasing it down. Offside as it was taken by Toffoli, but he was just offside as he brought it across, or actually Lucic should have been in the zone.
Kopitar able to get back on Voracek there on that last attempt by the Flyers. It was one of those where if Voracek gets it, he can turn and spin. Kopitar didn't leave the area. He stayed around, like we're so accustomed with Andrei Kopitar. Hasn't had a lot of attack time in this game, but when you're out there against those types of players, especially holding the lead, again, there was a change-up on the matchup. That time the Voracek line was on the ice. It was Doughty and McNabb out there for the Kings.
Next game at home for the Kings after today will be next Thursday. The Toronto Maple Leafs will be here, 7:30 game. We will be televising that one. Puck comes up ahead to center ice. Brayden Schenn going for it. Tipped away from him. Kings have it. Martinez gets it off on the right side. Now trying to make a move at the blue line was Gaborik. Taken away by the Flyers. Back they come. Right side. Here's a pass. Tipped away to the blue line, but not out. Goss was there with it. He put it down into Couturier. Couturier's pass in front, broken up, and it is picked up by Gaborik. Made a move and got it up the shore at center ice, and now down into the Flyer zone, chased in by Mersch. Michael Mersch down in the corner.
Time for the ground game for the Kings, Bob. Just a little bit of time in the offensive zone. Just get back to simple hockey.
Mersch and Shane Gostisbehere battling for it down in the corner. Nolan took it away, but the Flyers get it back again now and bring it up to center ice. Batted down at the blue line of the Kings, but a hand pass called here. It was right at the blue line. Now we Give tempers flare a little bit. Andrioff is there.
You don't want to take the extra one here. You just don't. Just the way the game's going, you just don't want it to happen. Got to be smart.
Andrioff upset with Delzato. But 9:07 to go here in the third. 2-1 Kings. We'll be right back.
Toyota game analysis. Dwight King comes back. Third game, second goal. Drew Doughty, big blast on the power play. John the Quick, only allowed one so far, but the goal by Braden Shen has got the Flyers back within one. And the Kings fans kind of checking it out. Oh, it's a loving crowd here at Staples Center. Let's hope we love our ways to 2 points against the Flyers.
Well, the faceoff will be outside the blue line of the Kings. Crowd reacting to a youngster on the Jumbotron with some really good moves to the music. Giroux wins the draw for the Flyers. Back to Gudas. Now a loose puck at center ice, and the Flyers get it into the Kings zone. Driven towards Quick, he makes the save, and then it's fired along the boards by the Kings. Picked up by Trevor Lewis, but hustling over is Delzato to hold it in. Put it behind the net. Flyers with it again. Kings zone. Pass up the middle, deflected. Still a battle for it, but the Kings come up with it and out to center ice.
Doughty out there again against that big line. He's out there with McNabb. Now Giroux and Doughty behind the play. A little bit of wrestling.
Kings with it, a shot by Brown and a save there by Neuvert.
I mentioned it was a loving crowd here at Staples Center. And Drew Doughty showing a little affection on the ice there for Claude Giroux. Ends up coming by, probably, push and shove, ends up on top. A little hug right there, so you got to stay on top of those guys, and the Kings have been trying to do that. It's 2 shifts in a row now. It's Doughty and McNabb getting the matchup responsibility against the top line of the Flyers. Shots this period, the Flyers have 10, the Kings 4, so kind of what you expect, holding a lead. As I was just talking about a couple moments ago, we'll see if the Kings can come back. Just haven't had a sustained forecheck yet here in the third.
Couturier won the draw for the Flyers. They bring it to the King line. Tip there. The Flyers have it again. A shot wide and off the boards. Shot by Couturier. He goes along the right wing boards to pick it up. Dropped it off in the corner. Shen with it into Raffl. Flyers with some pressure on here in the third. Now Couturier went back. Looked like a high stick, but the referees didn't buy it. Here now Lucic in front and getting taken down there as driving to the net was Toffoli.
He has a look at the referee. Oh, they're letting go right here in the third.
Raffl for the Flyers holds it in, tried to get it into Braden Shen. Kings take it now as it's tipped away to Kopitar. Kopitar's pass to the blue line, held in by the Flyers for a moment, but now cleared out to center by the Kings by Ehrhoff. Flyers with it. They got the push on here in the third, and the puck comes up out of play.
We'll stop it here. Remind you, Tippecanoe is February 6th at Discovery Cube, Los Angeles. VMA tickets, they're already sold out, so thank you very much for that support. Get your general admission tickets for just $75, the only event of the season where every LA Kings player, coach, broadcaster on hand to meet with the fans. Purchase tickets, visit LAKings.com/Tippecanoe.
Face off of the center ice and taken by the Flyers. Drive it back into the King zone again. Taken by McBain. He gets checked there. The puck comes around the boards and cleared out to center ice. Here is Pearson, left wing. He shoots and a save by Neuvert. Pearson again. Pearson, Flyers home. Trying to come behind the net. Throws it up the middle, but it's intercepted there by Bellemare. Bellemare for the Flyers. There, Edouard and Bellemare put it down in deep and behind the net. It comes now around over to the blue line. Held in for a moment now. Gabrick took a poke at it, didn't clear it. Delzato shoots and a save by Quick. Kings have got to do something here to stem the tide because the Flyers, they are putting the pressure on.
The Flyers are, have that. Of course, the mindset right now is to go forward. That's all of this team. It's been line after line. So again, the Giroux line comes up. I'm going to mention again that this is the pairing matchup. The pairing matchup will be McNabb and Doughty. We've seen that 3 in a row now here in the third. Veteran line up front with Lewis at center, King and Brown on the wings.
And off the draw here, Sedev's hit again by Giroux. It went wide.
That's the type of play he scored on against San Jose right off the shot.
Kings with it. Shot knocked wide and into the corner. Shot by Trevor Lewis. Now Brown trying to pick it up. He gets checked in the corner by Medvedev, and now it comes around to Voracek. He can't catch up with it. Held in by Doughty to Brown. Brown, Flyer zone. Brown still with it on his stick, but now it's taken away and a pass ahead. Flyers on a 2-on-1 into the Kings zone. Voracek, his pass broken up by Doughty. Diving Doughty broke it up. And Drew is the chant from the fans here.
When you have two exceptional offensive players on that attack, so Voracek with a puck on his off wing, that usually gives him more options. And Drew Doughty, while taking away the pass with his body, sliding in behind, stick in position to break it up.
Pass to the King line, broken up. Picked up by Andrioff. Andrioff got it up the center, and it's driven back behind the Flyer net. Not much room, Jim, in this period for the Kings to get anything going. Here is Andrioff. Left side into Michael Mersch. Mersch behind the net. Mersch trying to get free. Can't do it. Flyers dig it out. And they move it up in the air, up to center ice. Taken there and batted right back into the neutral zone by Martinez. Now the loose puck. Michael Raffl. Pass at the blue line. It looked like Couturier had Andrioff tied up. Now Andrioff's got to be careful. He's on the verge of getting a penalty.
He's done that a couple times, and it's okay to be on the edge. The way he was kind of pushing looked like he was punching.
Kings have it right side. Here's Toffoli. Toffoli in the Flyer zone. Toffoli hanging on to it. Kings leading goal scorer. Drops it back to Kopitar. Toffoli, the Kings leading scorer, too, with 30 points. But the Flyers take this away, and they come back up to center ice. Sent down into the Kings zone, and back to get it. McBain drops it to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff checked hard there. Puck behind the net. Kopitar with a check.
There's Kopitar in position to help out his D once again.
Kopitar knocking down Scott Laughton. Flyers hold it in again.
This is where it has to go out, right here. It's got to get out. Next chance, it's got to get out. Toffoli does it.
Toffoli got it out to center. Now it's center ice, taken by Kopitar. Flyers changing, but they're back in position. Kings with it. Kopitar up the middle. Shot there by McNabb is wide. Played by Simmons. Simmons for the Flyers. Got it up to center ice.
Voracek line out there. Simmons and Giroux.
We're down to 4:10 left to go. Here on the right side. Here moving in Voracek and pass in front, broken up, and the Kings get it up to center. Here now is Pearson on the left wing. Pearson to Gabrick. Shot saved by Neuvert. And he hangs on. Gabrick got it, but he didn't have a great position to get a shot. Sent it toward Neuvert, and he made the save. 3:53 to go in the third. Kings by 1. Doughty with that breakup.
You got to score to win, but you always got to keep the puck out too, and that's what Drew Doughty did the last shift, twice on the play. Lefty on the right, righty on the left, but in position there. He's on his knees, and watch this. This is the second one. He's getting more help from McNabb. Look at Doughty, down to his knees, but more in control this time. He's going down to his knees to block anything going behind his body. He's got his stick in position, ready to do something in front of his body, so he covers a lot of ground. Good read, good technique. He breaks up 2 2-on-1s.
In the Flyer zone now, this face-off with the Kings up 2-1 and 3:53 to go in the third. Shore on the draw to Gabrick. Gabrick put it in deep into the corner. Kings chase it down there to try and get control, and they do get the puck. Shore had it, but now his pass taken away and cleared out to center ice and into the Kings zone. Kings chase it down. Martinez gets it over to Gabrick. Gabrick taken away. He just threw it to the blue line and was held in. Here's Couturier in the corner. He gets knocked down by Muzzin. Muzzin trying to dig it out, pushing Couturier on his knees. Puck comes back behind the net. Kings chase it down. Now it is taken by Martinez. Flyers take it away again. Along the boards. Now it's out to center ice and into the Flyer zone. And it is an icing call against the Kings.
Flyers getting it. Now they make that change. Here's the big change they make. They make Giroux right over the boards. Double shift, get it going. Daryl Sutter called the timeout in the last game in a similar situation. And I think he's going to call one here. He doesn't do it very often, but he is going to do it. So I just kind of, because of the entire matchup situation, you can't change your players, but one thing Daryl wants to make sure here is at least make sure his players are rested and not going to make a mistake because they're fatigued. You'll see a little instruction there by Daryl Sutter as they get over to the bench. They understand what's going on. The Muzzin pair's out there, so that's the second choice for the Kings here in the third period. First period, the LA Kings get it going. Turnover. King says, you get it. No, he gets it right back from Gaborik. Then the power play. Kopitar to Muzzin. And Jake Muzzin right there. Oh yeah, just a tee-up situation for Drew Doughty. No scoring in the second, but then in the third, it took a while. You could kind of feel it happening. Simmons in behind. Braden Shen taps it in. That makes it 2-1. That's where we stand right here. And the Los Angeles Kings in a situation. Big draw here. Nick Shore against Giroux.
And the Kings won the draw, and it's out to center ice. Here's Pearson on the left wing. Pearson across the line, shoots, and a save, Neubert. Pearson in the corner. Pearson double team, and a penalty against Pearson. Puck comes up to center ice, delayed penalty against the Kings. Puck comes across the line, taken there by Voracek. Now up the middle, tipped away, and the whistle stops play.
It's going to be an offensive zone penalty. Tanner Pearson, he's tenacious, he's a hard worker, and Daryl Sutter doesn't like it. It's one of those where, you're trying. Effort's never an issue with Tanner Pearson. And he does, maybe now you can see why. There's always that issue of where the stick is. On that replay, it would say no trip. It was more Giroux trying to get away from the play. He was kind of jumping over a stick. But the referee does not have the luxury of the replay. When I saw it live there, I thought it was a trip too. On the replay, no. Referee has to make the call. Big chance here for the Flyers.
Flyers with a power play now with 2:42 to go. In front, a pass and a shot knocked down and cleared out to center ice.
Good stick control down low. Now the pairing is Muzzin and Doughty together.
Here across the line is Simmons. Puts it in the corner. Puck comes into the Kings, and it is taken by Doughty. Turns, makes the nice pass, and up to center ice. Here comes Brown. 2-on-2. Brown across the line. Dropped it back to Kopitar. Kopitar in the middle. Kopitar can't get a good shot. Gostisbehere all over him.
Yeah, he wanted to get it over to Brown at the last second. Brown had peeled off, so just kind of waiting for something, and it almost happened.
Kings change on the fly as the Flyers bring it into the Kings zone. Loose puck. Who's going to get to it? Flyers. Simmons on the right side. Wayne Simmons dropped it back down into the corner. Picked up there, now to the blue line. Gostisbehere sends it left side, gets it back again. Gostisbehere puts it down the corner again. Giroux hanging on to Gostisbehere. Shoots, saved by Quick. Gostisbehere's got a good shot, and the Kings, Martinez, cleared it, and it came up out of play.
Oh, bad break there for the Kings because Martinez was going to clear that one all the way.
Yep.
And it wasn't his fault. It just hit the glass and went the wrong way. He had the right idea. But there is a redirection on this play, and Jonathan Quick finds a way to just be there with the flipper pads down low, and he just sticks one out, makes a save. So quick with his feet, so agile, so athletic. Like we talked about way back in the pregame show, in our open, I should say, with Jonathan Quick. There's going to be a timeout here now by the Flyers. But Jonathan Quick we talk so much about his athleticism, but he has the technical aspect of the game down too, with that early position, which edge to push off, control down on his knees, and now it's a big time here. Now will the Flyers pull the goaltender? They have 56 seconds remaining on the power play. 1:42 in the game. Neuvirt's going back into the net. In this situation, I agree, because it just gives the Kings a free shot with a shorthanded situation at the empty net. But we'll see. If there's any type of control, maybe Neuvirth will pick that time to leave the net. Down to a big face-off again. Big bodies out there for the Kings. Anze Kopitar. Dwight King, he'll be a board man. Muzzin. Doughty. So they split up the pairs here at the end, trying to stack everyone together.
Kings had a 2-0 lead. The Flyers tied it on a goal by Shen. And now the face-off in the Kings zone. Power play, 56 seconds ago. Up the middle, Gostisbehere, and the shot just went wide. Deflected wide. Flyers again. Gostisbehere doesn't take it. Gets it over to Shen. He shoots. Knocked away by Quick. Just went wide of the net. Picked up by Shen again. Not Shen, Suni. Giroux, a shot there and a save made by Quick. And then Quick gets hit from behind. Simmons was there.
Neuvirth does come out now, Bob, and it looks like he's going to stay out now with 1:25 remaining. Jonathan Quick made a save on a screen shot. And he has been really good today's game. I know the Kings had a 2-0 lead early and the rest of the way, but there's the last save. It was before that, and then you see the little back and forth with Simmons. Lewis comes on the ice, the right-hander, to try to win the draw here against Giroux. 6 attackers for the Flyers. Empty net, short-handed situation for 38. So the Kings, if they had the chance, would take the shot at the empty net without risking the icing.
Big face-off here in the King zone, and it is out to center ice. Flyers have to chase it down. Back in their own zone. Mark Streit back to get it. Now the Flyers into the King zone, trying to tie it up in the waning moments of the game. Pass back along the boards, left side. Kings try to get to it. They do, and it's cleared out to center ice. And a good play by Trevor Lewis.
Lewis took the face-off. He's on the boards right there. 10 seconds remaining on the power play.
Under a minute to go in the third period. Flyers with it. 6 seconds to go on the power play. Puck driven into the King zone. Comes off the boards and is slapped at by the Kings, Muzzin, but now it's held in at the blue line, right side, pass down in deep. Here on the right side is Voracek, up the middle, Gostisbehere, then a shot. Glove save by Quick. He made the glove save, and he hangs on. And
look at that reaction.
Giroux can't believe it. He bent over at the waist, and he couldn't believe that Quick made that save.
Neither team has a timeout, so the Kings cannot slow things down. Watch this. Great redirection, misdirection, one-time shot, and Quick's going one way. He has to reach back the other. And this is a hard shot. It's tagged. It's a one-timer. And right there, perfect position. Look at that. Jonathan Quick down low in the pads. The glove on top of the pad, just in case. Another big face-off, 30.1. Lewis against Giroux.
And Giroux wins this draw. Gets it to Shen. Braden Shen throws it. It went behind the net. Picked up by the Flyers again. In the King zone to the blue line to Gostisbehere. Back over to Voracek. Voracek to Giroux. In front to Simmons. Broken up and covered by Quick again. With 20 seconds to go in the third.
The Kings want a breather. They want a break. They want to do something here to just kind of slow it down. You can't get it. Kopitar will come on. So you can make a change. Now the Flyers won't. Does it get all the way behind Jonathan Quick here? There's Doughty with another play. No, it does not. Jonathan sees it all the way. Lewis back to help out. Doughty right there. See him get a piece. That prevents that initial pass. Lewis against Giroux. Part 3.
And it is taken by the Kings. Up to center ice. Cleared by Toffoli. Flyers take it away. They get it back in the King zone. Kings have it. Cleared up to center again. 9 seconds to go. Flyers with it. Simmons, right side. Simmons drives it around the boards. 4 seconds to go. Back into the right side. 1 second to go. The game is over, and the Kings win. 5 in a row for the Kings. And they win it 2-1 here at Staples this afternoon.
And you know, it's just a battle, Even early on in the game when the Kings had a 2-0 lead, that man was on his game. And then at the end, he was on his game. So it's time now for tonight's Mercedes-Benz. I'm going to change that. The card says tonight's. I'm going to say today's Mercedes-Benz car of the game. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz dealers in Southern California. No question in my mind. A lot of things went right for the Kings. McNabb had a great game. Good defending. But Jonathan Quick was the difference. Kings win 2-1.
King got the Kings' first goal from Gabrick. Doughty with his 7th from Muzzin and Kopitar. That's all the Kings needed. Shen scored for the Flyers. 3-star selection is coming up. The Kings win at 2-1 for their 5th win in a row. Here's Dave Joseph.